Thank you, Corey, for those kind words. And I first of all want to begin by thanking the Board of Directors for their support, for their efforts and encouragement this past year. And they are passionate about the Holstein Association, and they work hard to see it succeed. And I also want to say thank you to our employees. Working with them for now about 10 years, I consider them true professionals. And I thank you for your daily work on behalf of our members. I also want to thank the delegates for your commitment to this meeting, and the members for your encouragement these past few years, and also for giving me the opportunity to serve you. It has been a tremendous honor. And I also want to say thank you to my family. And I start with my brother Ron and his wife Karen, who are here, and he kind of laid the foundation for my participation on the board because he served from 1998 to 2005 and always said he didn't mess up too bad or nobody would have ever voted for another Schaufelberger. And my sister Judy and her husband Ed are here, and they have supported me through all things in life and given me counsel, and I just want to say thank you. And we have two daughters. And some people would say that, there's kind of one that you don't know. Daughter Amy and Brad, they're big time involved in Holstein, and I thank them for their support and encouragement throughout these years. But also we have a daughter, Erin, that we're just as proud of. She has said before that she compares herself to Eric Trump. She said everybody knows about Donald Jr., but nobody's heard of Eric. So she's a great daughter, and her name is Erin, and she and her husband Chris are the parents of 4 wonderful grandchildren, and although they couldn't be here today, they gave me a big thrill last Saturday because the 2 oldest ones showed some March calves in the Pee Wee showmanship class at our district show. And last but not least, I want to extend my sincere thanks to Sandy, my wife. She has been a faithful teammate through all, just as Corey said. She's made friends all over the world. She didn't think she could do it, but she did. And she sacrificed so I could serve. So I say thank you to all my family. I also believe it's fitting that my journey started in Wisconsin in 2008, 11 years ago, just down the road at Wisconsin Dells. And I can remember my feeling as I was a candidate for the board and Doug Maddox stepped to the podium and announced my name as being elected as director, and I thought, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Because now everybody's going to find out I really don't know what I'm talking about. I felt way in over my head, and I see Tom Thorbon there, and I'll add him to the list. I got on a board that consisted of legends of the dairy industry at that time. And as I said, there's Tom Thorbon, Doug Maddox, Gordy Cook, Glenn Brown, Larry Tandy, Hank Van Axel. That's kind of a who's who's of the dairy industry. And here I found myself as part of a board of directors with them. But I learned from them, and it was a tremendous opportunity. Former President Glenn Brown said in his retiring address that he considered himself being a part of 10 different teams over the years. And each board has unique character and function differently. But I want to look at it like a relay race, that every team carries the baton, and at the end of that year of service, they pass the baton over to the next team, who are fully capable of handling the duties and responsibilities. And I am very confident that Corey and the new team that you will elect will carry us into 2020 with great success. 2018 was a challenging year for the Holstein Association as well as the dairy industry. Operating in a very tough economy, member business was strong in spite of those conditions. And dairy farmers continue to see value in registered and identified animals. To me, the cost of registrations is one of the most effective investments that a dairy farmer can make. Looking back on 10 years of my involvement at the Holstein Board and over 40 years of experience as a dairy farmer, I think today would be a good time to reflect on some major changes that I've witnessed in the industry and to reflect on what that means for the future of Holstein USA. The first that comes to mind is the amazing improvement of the Holstein cow. In my lifetime, production per cow has doubled. The udders today are tremendous, and any of you that were on the farm tours yesterday and on Monday can attest to the fact that these cows that we are breeding today are tremendous cows. Our cow does an incredible job of converting fiber into high-quality protein. That's a message that we need to continue to promote. And we've addressed the need to improve fertility, and now we're looking at things like adjusting teat placement and trying to improve the function of the feet and legs. And I believe that the registered Holstein cow is going to be the dairy cow of the future. But the primary question to me today is, who will control her genetic future? And I believe that Holstein USA needs to be the steward of Holstein genetics. The second change that I've observed that's big to me is the insecurity of milk markets. Not until the last few years did a dairy farmer have to worry about having a buyer for their milk. There may have been times that you couldn't find the market that you wanted, but you never had to worry about getting a letter saying that tomorrow or in a month or two you're going to have to find a new home for your milk. That's really earth-shaking and has driven some of our farmers out of business. My concern is that it gives advantage to larger farms. Some of these buyers only want to buy a trailer load of milk at a time that comes from a farm that can produce a trailer load of milk a day. And I'm afraid that this will accelerate the already rapid consolidation within the industry, and that's going to hurt our members. At our March meeting, our board endorsed Holstein's dairy stabilization program, dairy price stabilization program that was developed in 2009 as an answer to these 4 years of poor prices we've experienced. Will it be possible to get it implemented? I don't know. But I believe going forward that Holstein USA needs to be at any table where future dairy policy is developed. In my opinion, milk prices are simply they play too big a role in profitability for us as an organization to not be involved. The third change is the advent of genomics. We talk about 2008 being my first year, and I can remember at that first board meeting, I'd heard about genomic testing. I knew it was on the horizon. But I was surprised when I got to the meeting to find that it was the main topic about implementing the mechanics of genomic testing. None of us were prepared for how quickly it would be adopted by the industry and how dramatically it would change the value of some of our registered Holsteins. Genomics can be a useful tool, and it has given many dairies an opportunity to manage their genetics that never paid any attention to genetics before. But it has also caused many to question the value of deep pedigrees and actual performance. The AI industry embraced genomics rapidly, and semen sales changed from mostly proven bulls to young sires. And since genomic testing began, bull studs have started owning a high percentage of elite females. With fewer bulls entering AI and most of those coming from within AI programs, our members have lost an unprecedented number of breeding stock sales. Another challenge is the number of elite bulls that are restricted to breeders by either being pre-released or released only as sexed. How does that affect our genomic evaluations? or the speed of genetic improvement. Can you imagine the impact of the Holstein breed if elevation would have been available only to selected, restricted herds or only a sexed? The genetic future of our breed must be in the hands of our member breeders. Our pastor recently had a sermon series on the legacy that each of us will leave. And I sincerely believe that each one of us wants to leave our mark on this world. Through my 10 years of service to the Holstein Board, my legacy will largely have been made. But we need, and I want to encourage you to step up and do all you can for this association. The challenges that I listed, we need a full team going forward to address those challenges. Whether you're an active breeder and trying to work towards accelerating your progress, whether you serve as a committee member, a delegate like you here today, and I thank you for that, or have the desire or serving as a board member, we need all hands on board to address these issues. And I challenge you all to think about your legacy with this Holstein Association. Most of you know that a little over 2 years ago, we dispersed our dairy herd. And any major change in life can be an emotional experience. That was the case for us, and especially our daughter, Amy, who was very involved in our farm. And 2 nights before our sale, in the midst of all this emotion, she wrote these words. Some of you have seen it on Facebook. But to me, they're so significant about our life that I want to share them with you this morning. It's called These Cows. These cows, the reason we all had to wait until Dad was done milking to open presents on Christmas Day. Why we always had to rush to make it to functions on time. These cows are the reasons we don't go out much at night, but allow us to spend so much time together as a family. These cows are the reason I built character as I stood at the bottom of the class, and the reason for a sense of pride as I stood at the top. These cows are the reason we get up well before dawn, but never miss a sunrise. The reason we all have to work long hours every day of the year, but never miss a pretty Illinois sunset. These cows are the reason I never have girly hands, but it's a reminder that it takes hard work to be successful. These cows have allowed us to make friends all over the world. They taught me the circle of life and how fragile it is. These cows have shaped my life for the last 26 years. They played a role in so many good memories. These cows give you a sense of purpose that most others don't ever feel. They have been a part of our family. My parents have planned life around these cows. My dad has devoted his passion to these cows. They're the reason he never gets a nap, but the reason he's been so successful and should be so proud. And with Amy's permission, I have added a few lines to her writing that I will call These Holstein Members. These members have developed the most beautiful, productive, and coveted cow in the world. For 134 years, these members invested great passion to build the Holstein Association USA into the world's largest dairy breed organization. They work tirelessly at home while finding time to serve. These members have great character and are truly the salt of the earth. These members have changed my life by their friendship and by giving me this opportunity to serve, and I thank them.